Bonjour tout le monde, welcome everybody.
Before the start of the season, the QMJHL took the opportunity to offer training to all of its rookie players.
Well, it's very important. We let the coaches and the GMs take care of what's on ice, but we need to take care of what's off ice to make sure that all the surroundings, the proper behavior. These players wear two logos, one of the team and one of the league, and we want to make sure that they are the most memorable days of their lives and it's the best school of life.
The training days were organized by Jean-Baptiste Bertrand.
So I'm the lead of the support program at the QMJHL, and my role is to support the players and make them know the rules that we have in the league, the expected behaviors, and to finally ensure that they have the best possible experience in collaboration with their team staff.
On a une super belle journée en prévision pour vous autres. Le but de la journée, surtout, c'est de vous donner des outils.
The conferences were first held in Moncton for the maritime teams, and then in Trois-Rivières for all Quebec-based franchises.
The goal of the day is to educate the players so that they don't fall into some traps. So we're talking about the possible legal consequences of certain behaviors. And we're going to have also a workshop on the prevention of possible problematic sexual behaviors so that the players take the best part of their experience overall in the league.
Among the guest speakers, the QMJHL invited sexologist Anne-Marie Lavoie, as well as nurse clinician Jeanne Lefebvre.
Yeah, so we did a conference on sexual violences in general, but we went beyond that. So we talked really about communication, respect in relationships, and just with others in general. So it's really important to educate people about that in prevention, because it's an important aspect in our society, but it's kind of taboo still, so we don't really talk about it much, but I think it really is powerful to talk to it with young people, even more with hockey players that could have some factors that could lead them to do something like that, even though it can happen to everyone. But I really think it's important to talk about it, and we do the conference really fun, and we try to make them participate to make sure that they learn and they want to be there with us. It's not just something that's really heavy, and so yeah, we try to make it the most fun possible.
On the legal side, criminal prosecutor Steve Baribeau and criminal lawyer and former QMJHL player Olivier Morin were on hand to address the young players.
I wanted to give them tools. I didn't want them to give them teach them law lessons. I want them to understand law, because law, the essential of the law is the good conduct, and it's made by men. But I want them to analyze it and use their head.
With student athletes living an everyday life that's a little different from most youngsters their age, the QMJHL also made sure to invite its partner, the Aleo Foundation.
So what we did this morning is to explain to the hockey player to be 365 athletes. So to think bigger than hockey, to plan ahead, to use the skills they've used in sport to get there, but use them also in their academic planning, and to aim bigger and have more of a bigger plan integrated with sport and study.
This was the first training session of its kind, and the commissioner seemed very pleased with the experience.
Yes, I'm happy so far. These are very hard subjects, tough subjects, but at the same time, it's really something that we need to address. We invited the parents virtually to this day because we want to make sure that the conversation continues. We touch on sexual consent, we touch on criminal behavior, what happens sometimes when things go sideways, and it's important that that conversation keeps on going after they leave here. As usual, when you're confronted with all these subjects, it's a day where you're a little bit unease, but at the same time, it is the type of day which you'll remember 1, 2, or 3 comments when the situation comes that you should remember them and act properly.
The players also seemed to appreciate the experience.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good to have the sexologist and the lawyers to come talk to us. I mean, they're professional. That's what they do in their lives. They made a living out of it, so they know what they're talking about. So having them come talk to us is great because, you know, they've been through experiences and, you know, they taught us a bunch of stuff, so we know that there might be things that, you know, challenges that we're going to have to go through. So, I mean, just overall having like these type of people come talk to us was huge.
One last challenge, maybe that you guys want to share?
Players weren't the only ones to receive some training, however, as the Q also invited its general managers, coaches, and athletic therapists to attend a training session of their own, this time in Pointe-Claire.
Well, the main purpose of the day today is to give some advice or tools to our GM, our coaches, our athletic therapists, because we think that if we help those people, we'll help the players also, because they will be better and they will be around our players for that. There's several topics that we're discussing. For sure we'll discuss about hockey, but the main topics will be how we can give some tools, some advice, how they can control their stress, their anxiety or performance to surround all the players. So that's the first thought. And the second one, for sure, it's how we can help our athletic therapists about compassion, because they're on the first line. It's not always easy to receive, well, the problem of the players and intervene with them. So we're trying to help them on this.
The world communication, a big thing I think now in today's life for young kids. Sometimes you think you give too much information to them or too much communication to them, but that's the reality. It's you cannot give enough, you know. Give more information, more communication. This is the way things work now with our kids out there, and you know, they talk about it today. And it's funny because that was part of our meeting this year, me and the coaching staff, that I was pushing, telling them, talk more to their kids. You know, they want to know why they mess that shift in the second period. And yeah, the coach not going to remember most of the time at the end of the game. Is not going to remember that, but the kid remember that. And this is the way the new generation work. Like I said before, I did play in the league 25 something years ago. It's a different game now, different world, and communication now is a big part of our league, and that's something I think we need to keep putting forward out there.
In short, as Communications Director Raphaël Doucet reminds us, the QMJHL doesn't just develop athletes.
Forget that behind every player, there's a human being, and we want to help the players, the coaches, the GMs, to help these human beings.